I had a student this week who was really struggling with a decision whether to go out with her friends or stay in her dorm room or the library, preparing for an exam that was coming up. And this was a true struggle for her. She didn't want to let anyone down. She didn't want to disappoint other people or hurt other people. She didn't want other people to feel rejected by her. But at the same time, she had earned a good grade, and it felt good, and she realized, good grades will add up and then help me reach my goal, where I want to be in the future. So she was having to weigh that decision. Do I continue on the path I'm on of good grades and accumulating success and reaching the future self that I want to reach? Or do I interact with my friends? Her friends couldn't understand why this young lady was choosing to study tonight if her test wasn't for another 3 days. So it didn't make sense for that little small culture group that she was interacting with. Now, this was a real struggle for this young lady, and she had to make a decision. Now, how do those kinds of decisions get made? Now, this brings me to my favorite topic under the overall umbrella topic of resilience. My favorite component of resilience is character. Now, character is made up of all those tiny choices and decisions, 1,000 tiny choices, 1,000 tiny decisions that we make every day. And they accumulate to become a habit and create a character on the inside of us. The one thing I want you to know about character is not by chance. You're not born with a character. Your character is something that is developed and picked up and cultivated. The character, the things that contribute to character formation, of course, are our parents. The way our parents talked to one another, the way they conducted themselves in public, the way they conducted themselves at home, the way our parents spoke to me, the way my parents corrected me, even the way they praised me, the way my parents responded to my mistakes and to my successes. So all of those interactions with my parents help form my decisions and help me make decisions, as well as form my character. Other things that contribute to the character formation are the other adults in my life at different times in my life, or books that I might have read, or songs that were playing right at the right moment, and where I was really open to hearing different ideas. Maybe a song that was prevalent, that'll help form character, or even a movie that was very popular. So whatever is going on in our society around us will contribute to the formation of character. So if we want to contribute to the character formation of our children, which we do, as parents, we want to do that, then it's going to be something that we're going to do on purpose. We're going to be very active in the formation of character in our children, because we want our children to become young adults that can make choices based on a healthy value system. Now, the wonderful thing about current research, that a lot of research is emerging from the field of positive psychology on character. And one source of that, one way to look at it is through VIA Institute on Character. And you can look this up online, VIA character.org, I think, or .com. And they've done a lot of research and developed this little matrix of 24 main character strengths, and they've categorized it in virtues. Or here's a list of virtues. So I just printed this up online. It's a free download. You can look it up. Now, in this video, it's not big enough or long enough to address how to. So our first step to how to develop character in our children is defining character. Let's describe it. Let's think about what are the components of character. Now, one way to look at it, one way I looked at it when my children were little, is I imagined what they would be when they were 18, which is very hard when your children are small to fast forward and see what they would look like when they were 18. But do this little thought experiment and ask yourself, what kind of person do I want my son or daughter to be like when they're 18? Because more or less at 18, they venture out, they step out of the home, and they're moving on to college or to living on their own. Even if they're still at home, they're mostly gone. So what kind of person do we want our child, our son or daughter, to be like when around 18 years old? So that's one way to think about developing character, forming character in our children. So I'm going to just take a few minutes here and define character, describe some attributes of character using VIA Institute on Character and their research and their findings. So one character strength is judgment. Now, judgment includes critical thinking, thinking through thinking things through, being open-minded, being willing to make a decision based on some evidence, and then being willing to change based on new information. Another character strength is love of learning. This is mastering new skills, mastering new topics. This is important because we have to be lifelong learners to keep up with technology. Technology is forcing our world to change very rapidly, and as we want to keep up with all the new things that are part of our world. So we want to keep on learning and systematically adding to our knowledge. Another character trait is wisdom, perspective. Now, perspective is giving wise counsel. When you think about wisdom, different points of view, maybe if we use an airplane analogy, at the 35,000 foot elevation, being able to see all around, long distances, you zoom out and you see cause and effect and implications. So perspective is a character strength. Another one is bravery. Bravery is not shrinking from fear, not stepping back from a difficult situation. And all of us could need bravery to do the difficult things in life. Sometimes the difficult thing in life is just simply saying no, or simply turning off the TV, or simply turning off the phone. Perseverance is another character strength. Like my student, she was having to persevere on this journey she had begun, and it was novel to her to choose to study instead of going out with her friends. So persevering in something industrious that would produce an outcome, finishing what you start. Another character strength is honesty, being authentic, a person of integrity, maybe not two-faced. Another one that I love particularly is love. Love is a major character strength. Being loved, being able to receive love and being able to give love, valuing friendships. So love is such a deep subject. We could talk about love for a long time. Another character strength is kindness, being generous, being nurturing, care, compassion, helping, being kind and considerate of people who are lesser than we are. Maybe they are smaller, younger, weaker, more vulnerable. hurting, needier. So all of that is character, the character strength of kindness. Another one is fairness, another character strength, being just, letting go of my feelings, not letting my feelings push me towards a negative decision, maybe. Leadership is a character strength, and some of us, we call them born leaders, but all of us are leaders at some level. If no one else, if nothing else, you are the leader of your own life. You're leading your own life. But as parents, we're leading our family and our children. And even though our children might be grown and out of the house, we still have a position of leadership and influence in the on our grown children as well as on the people around us. Leadership is organizing a group of people to get to a location, to get somewhere. Forgiveness is character strength. Being merciful, accepting people's shortcomings, giving people a second chance. Humility. Some people don't consider humility a character strength, but this research tells us that it is. So we can describe humility, and that these are topics for deep conversation. Self-regulation is a character strength. Now, if people who carry a diagnosis of ADHD, that self-regulation is a deficit, a developmental deficit, and that aligns with that diagnosis. But self-regulation is something that you can get better at. You can develop another level of self-regulation, self-control, being disciplined, managing impulses, managing emotions. Gratitude is an extremely powerful character strength and useful. Being thankful for what is good, being thankful for what is in front of us, feeling blessed, expressing thanks. Very powerful character strength. Hope is another character strength, that is optimism, being future-minded. When my students can see a future, then they have energy, they have motivation. But when my students cannot see a future, then they don't find any motivation to study. They don't find any reason to keep going. So hope is essential. One more character strength is spirituality. Having a religion, having a belief in something bigger and grander than you, than me. Having faith that contributes to purpose and meaning in life. So in conclusion today, I want to recap by saying character is not developed by chance. It doesn't happen by chance. You're not necessarily born with a good character or a bad character. Character is something that is instilled and grown and developed. And we can continue growing and developing our character. Character is developed through thousands of little choices and decisions every day. And parents have to be very active in developing character in their children. And even though our children are grown and maybe not necessarily living in the house anymore, we still have a level of influence. We have more influence than you think in our children. So we're still contributing to just giving our children some reference points regarding character development, being very aware of how the voices in our world, in our society, are contributing to the character formation in our children. Now, a big component of resilience, character is a big component of resilience. I'm gonna do one more video, and that's going to be on control. I'll see you soon.